Welcome again, everyone, to another reading of Beyond the Story, a 10-year record of BTS. We are still in chapter 5, but thankfully there are just 4 remaining subheadings, and then we will finish chapter 5. On average, most of the chapters have around 13 subheadings, but not to worry, we just have 2 more chapters to go, and we'll be done. So thank you so much for sticking out with me. And, I hope we're all enjoying the narrations and learning a lot, from the members. I'm also excited about 2 more upcoming uh, BTS media. Yeah. So one is an episode um, in Sugar's Sachita. And his guest is none other than the beautiful and talented IU. So, for those who don't know IU, so IU is an incredible vocalist who's had a very long career already. She's very young. She's as old as Sugar, but she started really young. And I think she's already, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 20 years. I'm not sure. But anyway, so she is a singer and an actor. And she is this very much respected artist in Korea, multi-awarded as a songwriter as well as a singer, and her songs are beautiful. So, and she's collaborated with BTS and mostly Suga with her song 8, which was produced and also featured Suga. And then for Suga, his People Part 2 song features IU. So I'm excited and really looking forward to that episode with IU. And the other one is the BTS Monuments Beyond a Star. They will show 2 more episodes, the next 2 episodes. And that's I think that's on the 27th. So that will be tomorrow. That's KST time. And then Suga's Sachida, the episode with IU is actually tonight. So, so I'm very much, yeah, I'm excited and looking forward to those episodes. So, continuing our Beyond the Story, Chapter 5, A Flight That Never Lands. The next subheading is Our Group. Discussions surrounding BTS's contract renewal were still ongoing up until the release of Love Yourself Tear and their performance at the 2018 BBMAs, or that's Billboard Music Awards. Aside from their desire to remain as ARMY's Anpanman, none of their concerns had yet been resolved. Even when they'd heard the news that they would be performing at the BBMAs for the first time, they could not be all that pleased. Jimin talks of how he felt while preparing for the performance. The atmosphere in the group was chaotic, and so even though it was incredible that we'd get to stand on that stage for the first time, to be honest, I did not feel much emotion. This was because I'd never struggled as much as this my whole time in BTS. In this moment where I should have felt so moved and glad, I did not feel any of these emotions. However, from that point onward, a change that even the BTS members had not expected started to occur. In contrast to the weighty atmosphere within the group, the dance practice for Love Yourself Tears title song Fake Love was going so well, you could call it smooth sailing. J-Hope says, I think we just did it unknowingly. We worked hard, And even when we were on location, we kept practicing. J-Hope smiles, a quizzical look on his face, and reflects. Strangely, while struggling psychologically like that, the quality of our performances went up. Even as we went, ah, this is hard, we practiced. Then the practice was over and we did another practice. Like that. Jimin remembers the atmosphere within the team at the time. To be honest, up until then, it was a disaster. We struggled when recording, we were sluggish during practice, but we pulled ourselves together. The atmosphere was just right, and we could concentrate. It must have been a month or two before standing on that stage. Even the members themselves say they don't know how it was possible. However, unlike at the time of their performance at the 2017 AMAs, that was the DNA performance, now they were suffering their own internal problems without the mental space to feel the pressure of the gazes watching them from outside. You know what? Once I watch those videos again, it will feel very different because knowing all this background, context, wow. Though we can't know whether this actually eased the pressure on them, it's clear that they were able to concentrate more while rehearsing the fake love stage performance. With the BBMAs on May 20, 2018, this small change became something meaningful. Oh, before going on stage that day, I remember for the first time in ages shouting out the chant we do before concerts. Bangtan, bangtan, bang bangtan, like this. It's like we do it to encourage one another. This was how J-Hope remembers the situation. He continues. Backstage was pretty hectic at that time. There was the crew, and the artists who'd finished performing before us were going past. In the middle of all that, we shouted out the chant to mean, hey, this is a live broadcast, let's do this. Let's shake off all our worries before going on stage. Then once the fake love stage performance was over, Bang Shi-yuk, who was in Korea at the time, called them on the phone and boomed, "You lot effing smashed it." It's actually on the page with the asterisks. According to J-Hope, Bang Shi-yuk couldn't hide his excitement over the performance and even swore as he shouted out. It was a sign that, unbeknownst to them, all their problems were resolving themselves. During its first week of sales, Love Yourself Tear became the first ever Korean album to make #1 on the Billboard 200. Meanwhile, the title song Fake Love hit #10 on the Hot 100. The fact that its music video reached 100 million views on YouTube in about 8 days, breaking their record for DNA by a large margin, ended up being secondary. Wow, even back then, this was 2018, they were really already making headway, you know, in the charts. And this was, I think, and they also did that in 2017. They were just climbing consistently, just getting up there. The BTS members, who had always practiced regardless of the situation and had happily gone on stage even when they were struggling, put all their skills into action at the decisive moment. Just like they had at the 2014 Mama Awards, it was from there that they found a clue to solving all their problems. Tilting his head, J-Hope recalls the current of change within the group after the BBMAs. I'm not sure exactly either. I don't know if I was the only one who felt this, but when we were on stage, it was like it happened naturally. That day, we got Bang Shiyuk's phone call, and each of the members let out a little smile. J-Hope laughs. After that, it was like something started to gently, gently untangle. However, not all their problems were resolved by just that one performance, of course. In giving a performance they could be proud of, they discovered the meaning of what they were each doing as individuals and the meaning of all seven members working together. One part of this process involved the six youngs listening to the youngest's story. I'm not sure the reason. I think just there was something I kind of did not like. Here, Jungkook opens up about what was a really difficult period for him. Perhaps we should say that Jungkook, having debuted in his teens, faced adolescence later on in life. What the Youngs could do was lend an ear to his story and stand alongside him. Jungkook continues. One time after filming, I went to drink alone. And drinking alone, it was like I felt so hopeless. But that was the time I was really into taking photos of this and that on my camera. And so I set up my phone camera in front of me and spoke to myself as if I was doing a YouTube stream. And I was drinking at the same time. But then Jimin suddenly appeared. Jimin explains why he turned up in front of Jungkook. I was a bit worried about Jungkook, and so I asked the staff, and they said he'd gone out for a drink. So I got in the car too and asked them to let me out where they dropped off Jungkook. I got out and looked around, and there was a bar right in front of me. Then when I went inside, Jungkook was alone with a camera set up, drinking. That was how we ended up talking. It was not through the conversation itself where Jungkook found any answers. He says, I don't remember much of what we talked about, but I was pretty moved that Jimin had come because he'd come to comfort me. Jimin recalls, listening to what he had to say, I learned for the first time just how much he was struggling, and I cried a lot. I'd had no idea. Jungkook had tried not to talk about it, but the drink kicked in and he talked. Back then, neither Jungkook nor the six youngs were sure exactly what it was they needed. But with the endless gazes from outside upon them, it seems that taking time to listen to how each other were really feeling had been important. Jimin says, I think that at the time we needed to do a certain amount of complaining and moaning. In some ways, I think by doing that, we were trying to perceive reality in a more detached way. And the fact that, after all, the members are right alongside each other, I realized that. And from that point onward, everything sorted itself out quickly. Jungkook also brings up another similar episode. It was me and Jin and Jimin, I think, the three of us, went to get something to eat. And the other members turned up one by one, too. They drank with us, and then someone threw up. Jungkook laughs. It was a mess. We were there crying. These people. Lost in thought for a while, Jungkook then continues. We work together, and this is a business, right? However, it's more than that for us. I can't think lightly of them. They are so precious to me, and I'm thankful for these people. I came to realize that really strongly back then. Oh, those those pages were emotional, huh? Okay, subheading. I'm fine. The Love Yourself series came to an end, and in August 2018, BTS released the repackaged album Love Yourself Answer. The album opens with Jungkook's solo song Euphoria. It was while recording this song that Jungkook was finding his own voice as a vocalist. I don't know if I should call it a slump. It was like in the vocal aspect, I'd come up against a wall. Jungkook explains the difficulties he went through. My method of practicing alone while continuously searching and searching for my voice, it wasn't the right way. There was a better way. But in practicing like that, I developed bad habits. That was when I needed to fix it. But doing that, my throat, it felt like it did not belong to me. But anyway, I still had to do something. So I did the recording. Euphoria unfolds dynamically. Jungkook's voice slowly cranks up the emotion, and at the appropriate point in the chorus, instead of his voice, a powerful beat stands center stage. Before arriving at the chorus, Jungkook uses subtle changes to convey the delicate emotions captured by the lyrics, raising or lowering the key a little, or slightly speeding up or slowing down within the repetitive melody. You're the sunshine that shone once again on my life, the return of my childhood dreams. I don't know what this feeling is. Could this also be a dream? You might call the opening lyrics to Euphoria Jungkook's story following his debut with BTS. Growing alongside BTS, Jungkook went from a young boy who did not understand his emotions to a fully grown adult and vocalist who could express emotions so complex they cannot be put into a single word. You could liken this to the young protagonist, Riley, from the Pixar animation Inside Out in 2015, who through feeling an emotion, a mix of happiness and sadness, cleanses her mind and grows a little more. It was. Jungkook replies when asked if Euphoria was a turning point for him as a vocalist. He continues, I still did not think my voice had cleared, but I felt I could express a greater number of emotions with it. Putting technical aspects like vocalization to one side, how much I captured the emotions that suited the song, I think those are the kind of things that naturally improved. But to be honest, it's still a struggle. It is difficult. For BTS, the making of the Love Yourself series seemed to be a period of growing pains. Like Jungkook says, the members had each kept their concerns bottled up inside until finally these emotions came exploding out and impacted the members' closest relationships, those with their fellow group members. To resolve this, they sought a balance between the group and their inner lives, and between themselves and others. Jin says, once that period had passed, I ended up with a pretty positive mindset, I think. You know, to love yourself. Jin loves himself very much. So he also explains, I started to try and go with the flow. If I wanted to practice singing, I practiced singing. If I wanted to play a game, I played. When I had nothing on my schedule, I ate if I wanted to, and if I did not, I went the whole day without eating. The people who know me are amazed by it, asking, how I can concentrate so much on something without complaining. And then I replied, I think it's possible because I'm living without any thought at all. Jin saying he was living without thinking shows us, in fact, just how much he had agonized over his way of life before arriving at this point. Because I live like that, there isn't anything big I want in my life, and I get a sense of accomplishment by doing the things I want to in the moment I want to do them. I can get a sense of accomplishment in any place. Through that process, I felt a lot of happiness and found some mental space, I think. The lyrics to Jin's solo song, Epiphany, from Love Yourself Answer begins. It's so strange. I'm sure I truly loved you. I fit everything to you and wanted to live just for you. But the more I did, the less I could handle the storm within my heart. So the Love Yourself Answer repackaged album, which was released on August 24th, 2018. The tracks are, it has two CDs. So for CD 1, Euphoria, Trivia, Just Dance, Serendipity, Full Length, Edition, DNA, Dimple, Trivia, Love, Her, Singularity, Fake Love, The Truth Untold featuring Steve Aoki, Trivia, Seesaw, Tear, Epiphany, I'm Fine, Idol, and Answer Love Myself. For CD2, Magic Shop, Best of Me, Airplane Part 2, Go Go, Anton Man, Mic Drop, DNA, which is the Pedal to LA mix, Fake Love, Rocking Vibe mix, Mic Drop, Steve Aoki remix, Full Length Edition, and Idol featuring Nicki Minaj. The Love Yourself series and the Love Yourself, of course, Answer, that there's just lots of gems here. Oh, continuing on the lyrics of Epiphany, I reveal my true self beneath this smiling mask. Okay. You always want to do your best for the one you love, but it's not easy to stand the storm inside your heart. And it feels as if you're wearing a mask in front of them. This is part of the complex emotion that Jin and the other BTS members felt while making the Love Yourself series. Once this period was over, at times, Jin would accept the world he could do nothing about. And at times he would compromise and affirm himself. Perhaps it was through this that he learned to fully enjoy the happiness his work brings. Recalling his memories of Epiphany, Jin says, "The only part I don't remember from the Love Yourself Answer album was recording this song. At the time, I was kind of out of it, and so I think that was part of the reason why. But performing this song is a bit more of a special enjoyment for me. When dancing, you have to be thinking about the next move. And if you forget the choreography, it's a disaster, right? But if you sing the song standing in one spot, you harmonize with the situation and feelings captured by the song as they are. I'm the only one who can experience this enjoyment on stage, though." J-Hope talks about the series of changes taking place at the time. It really was a period of a lot of growth. For me, I learned a lot while making the Love Yourself albums, and I often thought about how I should express myself within this group called BTS. At that time, the fans also recognized those things. We were truly thankful during that time. I think the process of making these albums made up an incredibly large part of me. If it wasn't for that time, I don't think the J Hope of now would be here. It was like that for all the members. But J Hope's role had always been in helping maintain BTS's signature close knit atmosphere. When the members were struggling physically during dance practice, he would smile and drive the atmosphere so that they could try one more time, and then once more. J Hope gives the following definition of teamwork: we are a team, and the seven of us need to become one to do a good job at whatever it is we're doing. I'm not the only one who should do well. My belief is that all need to do a good job, and so I think I did my best in the parts I could do. Actually, when it came to making the Love Yourself series or thinking about the contract renewal problem, the other members helped the group more than I did. In a way, they took on the parts I could not cope with, as well as the things I struggled with, and encouraged me. Considering J Hope's mindset toward the group here, the role he played in the promotion of Love Yourself Answer feels even more dramatic. A few days after the album's release, J Hope performed part of the title song Idol's choreography and uploaded a challenge video to social media alongside the hashtag Idol Challenge, so that lots of people could dance along. J Hope, who has always been fully devoted to the group, plays the role of getting people to have fun and dance along to Idol. This was the J Hope the members and ARMY knew well, and he got a response right at the forefront of the promotion. This challenge was an important moment of change for both Big Hit Entertainment and BTS. Before the Love Yourself Answer album, BTS would share the variety of promotional content the company had prepared for the new album according to a detailed plan. Big Hit Entertainment's intentions were clear within all of BTS's activities, from the comeback trailer released first of all, to the stage direction at the end of year music award ceremonies, and these intentions were conveyed to ARMY and other music consumers. To give an example, for ARMY, guessing the concepts for the next album based on the words that popped up on screen behind the stage at an award ceremony was an event in itself. The Idol Challenge was therefore changing this trend. People's spontaneous participation and responses were an important part of the promotion. And this was something beyond Big Hit Entertainment's control. Of course, because it was BTS doing the promotion, you could expect the reactions to J-Hope's challenge video to be good. However, it wasn't at all possible to predict how many ARMY would really dance along with J-Hope, or how many of the general public outside of ARMY would take part in the challenge. It's likely that as a result of these fears, opinions would have been divided within Big Hit Entertainment about whether or not, would have been divided within Big Hit Entertainment about whether or not to go ahead with the challenge. It's clear, however, that Love Yourself Answer's Idol Challenge was something BTS needed to go through. And we will stop there. Thank you so much for joining me once again and sticking it out. Until next time, this is Beyond 1800 with BTS.